Okay, I understand Senator Brown has had to step away. And next in the queue is, I believe, Senator Warner online. Are you there, Senator?
Yes, I am. Thank you, Senator Cortez Masto. And when Sharon comes back, tell him thanks for holding this hearing. And I want to make sure I take advantage of my time appropriately. I know a lot of my Republican colleagues, always cite the Wall Street Journal and, you know, great periodical. I'm not going to waste all the time, but I got 6 recent headlines, all from the Wall Street Journal, who talk about crypto scams and frauds. So this is a timely effort, and I'll perhaps send this around to my Republican colleagues so they can review it as well. I guess I'm going to start with Ms. Lubin and Ms. Walsh on the same theme that I often raise in these hearings, which is I'm still trying to wrap my head around, particularly around stable coins, how they make money. Because if you truly have a one-for-one backing with a dollar per dollar backing, for example, somebody's got to, you're in effect borrowing some of that money from investors or others. You've got to pay for the float. So I don't get how they actually can make enough off of fees, since often people advocates for stablecoins, and I want to believe, are saying, well, these stablecoins and other tools are going to be used, frankly, as a way to, deal with currency risk, payment to third world countries. When in effect, it feels like a lot of these stablecoins are used as somebody wants to buy a cryptocurrency, they use a stablecoin as the tool to invest in another crypto, whether it's Bitcoin or others, or the whole world of DeFi. So to Ms. Lubin and Ms. Walsh, can you explain kind of the underlying basis of how a supposedly one-to-one backed stablecoin actually makes enough money? And if they are making it off of fees, do you feel that those investors in these entities, are getting appropriate enough disclosure to understand the basic economic premise?
Thank you, Senator. I think you raised some very important points. Part of the question is, are stablecoins actually really stable? Is there a way for them for the enterprise to make enough money to back up the entire operation? From what we understand, and there is a tremendous lack of transparency in here, there are fees at each level of the transaction. There also could be excess earnings on the backup reserves for the stable coins, and that's also a place where there possibly is some revenue coming in. But the real issue here is there isn't disclosure. There's a total lack of transparency in this market. So you don't have the kind of information you have with typical securities investments, where you say, this is where we're making money, these are the fees we're going to earn, this is what it costs us to run this business, and this is what we expect the profits to be. So the tremendous lack of transparency here keeps this as an evergreen question of how are people affording to do this.
Ms. Walsh?
Senator, thank you. I echo Ms. Lubin's comments and underscore that more disclosure, greater clarity is needed with respect to crypto assets and digital assets. Market forces can drive up the value of various securities, and that's something that we've seen time and again in different iterations over the years. I've been doing this for 25 years, but having clarity and more disclosure so that people understand what the product is, how it works, what the fees are, how they might incur losses, even if those losses are caused by something other than a market decline in the value of their particular security. Those are all important questions for regulators and Congress alike to be tackling.
Yeah, and I appreciate both of them, because again, I could see a stablecoin world where you might have, within the universe of so-called algorithmic stablecoins, where there's not this promise of one-to-one backing. And, clearly we think about, I always think about It's a Wonderful Life and Jimmy Stewart, telling folks, when the run on the savings and loan will, your money's in somebody else's house. Again, if there was not this promise of a one-to-one backing, some level of leverage on stablecoin usage makes sense. But when people are saying, no, we have an immediate one-to-one backing on a dollar or other similar legitimate currency, I just think the business model needs a lot more review. And I know, Ms. Lubin, my time's up, but I'm 100% with you. The idea that anywhere in this field, this early on, that we would have any kind of self-regulatory or SRO organization would be absolute lunacy. I appreciate this, and I really hope we get more chance to investigate. I also hope that we could maybe do this. The committee could maybe get some kind of classified briefing. As chairman of the Intel committee, I think there are a number of misuses in this field that needs to be explored. My understanding is I've been handed a note that I'm now supposed to call on my colleague, Senator Menendez, who I think is next in the queue.
Thank you.